here we are on Tuesday, January 16th. Had to look at my watch to be sure of the date. And I'm getting the Airstream ready. It doesn't look like it right now, but I'm going to be taking off on Thursday out of Prescott for a couple of days. I've got to go work on a client site. So the Airstream is going to be rolling. So the reason I'm heading out, this was kind of unplanned, but this weekend I got an emergency call from one of my clients, and they're having some online issues, so I'm going to help them out with it. So it has nothing to do with any site that I've built, actually, and for small business owners, you might be familiar with this type of emergency call. A couple of months ago, one of my larger clients that owns a lot of properties, several months ago they got in touch and they were purchasing another property. So they wanted to update the website and make some major changes. In talking with them, I had recommended, hey, get the domain name from the previous business owners. Make sure that we get that domain name. It's got good search engine optimization. It's been around for a while. And one of the issues the client had was that the property, it's got some really bad Google reviews. I mean, really bad. The kind of reviews that would actually keep me out of a park, because it's consistent reviews and it's reviews that have occurred over the period of years. So it's not one or two flaky RVers who didn't enjoy a stay. There's a consistent bad track record. So the owners did not really want to carry that over. So in talking with them and negotiating what we wanted to do, they had said, let's build a placeholder website in the interim and we'll build up the SEO. So after ownership of the property for just a couple of weeks, I got an emergency call this weekend. We need to get the search engine optimization up there right now. Well, if you're going for organic keywords, if you're going for organic searches, you really need to be prepared for 3 to 6 months lag time for Google to really start indexing everything, for you to write good content that's searchable and that people are searching for. The other option is, of course, to pay for Google AdWords. Now, in the case of this property, they already were getting found for the region they're in and for what people were searching for with the original domain name, which is exactly why I said, hey, let's use this original domain name. Well, they opted not to do that. So this weekend I got the yelling phone call of, hey, people aren't finding us and it's your fault. Fortunately, if you're a small business owner, I've got one big recommendation from my old telecom days. Make a folder that's called CYA. That's cover your I learned that in telecom when a technician threw me under the bus one time saying I hadn't sent him some information. So from that point forward, all correspondence with anyone I ever worked with, I kept. And I kept backups, and I kept backups of the backups. And I carried that through to today. And so over the weekend, that really worked out well for me, because I was able to diffuse the conversation very quickly, saying, well, in the final conversation about what you as the client wanted, on November 24th, we can go back through the email where your agent told me which things you did and did not want. So that immediately diffused everything, and suddenly wasn't my fault anymore. Unfortunately, it then became the agent that I was dealing with's fault, and it wasn't theirs either. They happened to relay all the information. So that's one of the challenges of being a small business owner. It's sometimes it does bum me out a little bit, that I've got to keep all these records just to show to people. I made these recommendations X, Y, Z. You opted not to follow those recommendations, and now a very short time later, you want to go with my original recommendations. So it's a good thing we're going to get everything cleaned up, and that means that the Airstream is going to be on the road for a bit. Interestingly enough, I've got some friends coming out from the East Coast. Hey, Josh and Lee, looking forward to seeing you guys. So I was trying to time things to meet up with them. I'm thinking about heading down to Wickenburg after this trip. So this might be a whirlwind over the next couple of weeks, and maybe we'll get some interesting video posts here too. And maybe we'll get some flight time in.